This coming weekend, World Cup action returns to New England down there with our friends from Waterville Valley. And today we're going to get some insight into the Freestyle World Cup, the Moguls and dual-moguls competition from someone who has been there, Olympic competitor, soon to be Hall of Famer, Upper Valley native from right here around not far from where the Ski Rex Media HQ is, and someone who skied at Whaleback too. The great Hannah Kearney returns to Ski Rex Media today, this week on the Ski Rex Media podcast.
Snowboard side by side.
So, as I was just saying to today's guest, and it's the beauty of the audio-only podcast is that I'm wearing my Whaleback shirt and not my Waterville Valley shirt. So that's good planning on mine, but at least I'm wearing my U.S. ski and snowboard hat. Today, we have the return of someone I got to meet down at the Snowbound Expo. Very cool. Did one of the video interviews down there for me. It was a lot of fun. Although even I look at it and I'm like, gee, I think I could have done better. So Miss Hannah Kearney, first, I apologize for that. How are you, ma'am?
I'm great. I'm back in Utah, but it was really fun to return to that Snowbound Expo. That was an amazing kickoff to the season.
That was a lot of fun. I do really enjoy the expo. I get to see everybody. I get to meet people I don't know. I get to see a lot of people that I do know, including Dan Egan, who set this up, and he's going to come back around in this again. Not that I'm name dropping. It all works out as we go. And I'm going to try not to babble my way through this like I usually do. We don't have hours. We have a short time, so we're going to be on point. We're already failing. Cool. So, Hannah Kearney, we should know who you are. But for the sake of Waterville this coming weekend, relative to when you hear this, yes, I know it's the following weekend for us in real time, but in podcast time, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Hannah Kearney. I was a freestyle skier. It's not like being an Olympian when they say you're always an Olympian. I'm not a freestyle skier anymore, but I was. And cool. I competed on the U.S. ski and snowboard team for 13 seasons, and I was a Waterville Valley athlete for basically that entire time too. I was a BBTS skier from age 9 or 10 until I retired. But of course, until also I made the national team at age 16.
Very good. So she's in it and has been in it and is now out of it, but that's okay. She still knows what's going on. And as I've said, this discipline is something I'm not as well versed in. Why? Because, well, I don't know. I think sometimes there's a disconnect if you don't do it. I'm not an alpine racer to be sure, but at least I'm on those hills. I'm not on the freestyle courses. I don't know how to do it. My feet don't leave the ground, and skiing bumps, my knees scream at me if I even go look at them. So Hannah's here to tell us all about it. So shout out to Waterville Valley. Some ways I really love. They love me too. Shout out to Tim Smith and everybody all the way down the ladder. So let's talk about freestyle skiing first. Let's go over what's going on at Waterville. Like, what does the competition look like? Like, how does it work?
So there'll be 2 days of competition, single moguls, meaning that an athlete is coming down the 230-meter course all by themselves. They're coming down as straight and quickly as they can, absorbing the bumps and hitting 2 jumps that are pre-built. So they don't have a choice of when they jump. They hit the jump, execute the best trick they can, and impress the judges and the audience. It's 60% turns and line, 20% speed, and 20% jumps. So, and now is it Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday?
Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
Friday,
so
Saturday.
On Friday will be single moguls. And that's what I just described, the athlete doing their best. It'll be a qualification run in the morning. They run the women first, then the men qualify. They cut the entire field down to the top 16 who get a second run. So none of this free skiing stuff where it's best of. Every run here counts and your scores are wiped clean. So the top 16 will run in reverse order. And from the top 16, the sixth best go to what we've been dubbed the super final, which is, don't get me started on the naming mechanisms. But anyway, it's the final where the medals are given out. And so 6 skiers will compete for the 3 gold, silver, and bronze. And this is a World Cup competition. So it's the best mogul skiing athletes in the entire world, the same athletes who you will see in a year's time at the Olympic Games. And then Saturday is dual-moguls, when the same athletes now go head-to-head. There's a bracketed system, think like Final Four in basketball, bracketed system that's based on your world ranking. And the skier who doesn't lose a single run all day eventually becomes the winner. It's really fun to spectate because these athletes are skiing at speeds that are a lot faster than they were skiing the day before, whether they thought that was as fast as they could have skied or not. All of a sudden you find another gear when someone's chasing you down the course.
Absolutely. I'm sure of that. It's something to behold. I was there for dual moguls last year at Waterville, and man, what an event to watch. Now we talk about action sports, and I think that every single competitive discipline in snow sports is an action sport. And freestyle obviously really speaks to that because there's air. You leave the ground and you do these jumps. What is it like to switch on a dime? You're skiing bumps fast. The body doesn't move. It doesn't look like just the feet. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing to watch. And then you have to jump. What is that like?
It's almost like a pause in this frenetic run, because your time in the air is like this moment of weightlessness. If you're good at jumping, then it's also calm. I was usually mildly panicked going into the air because I was going upside down and anything can happen. But if you're good at jumping, it is this fun moment of a break for your quads too. All of a sudden your legs get a rest and you have 3 seconds of weightlessness and then bam, right back in it. So it's a fun contrast, like you said, to the high speed act. And it's not like if you're spinning and flipping through the air, it's still pretty action-packed, but it is this moment you can catch your breath in the air before you land and have to absorb and extend and turn again.
Fair enough. And I don't know why this just popped into my head, so it's going to it's still on point, but do you know the history of how this happened? Because again, we both just said there's a contrast. It's bump, 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 jump, bump, 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 jump. It's obviously not that simple. I just said it that way. How did these two things end up mixing on a course? Do we know that, or is that just something that happened over the years?
It happened over the years, but it happened really quickly. So originally freestyle skiing was sort of ballet, moguls, and jumping, aerials all in one. And by all in one, I mean literally in one single run. So it's kind of natural that jumps come from bumps, because sometimes, whether on purpose or not, you catch air from these obstacles. And the real challenge is actually to absorb them to prevent that from happening. So originally, you just used the bumps that you were absorbing to instead pop and jump off of them and land right back on top of another mogul as you continue to ski. So that's when the acrobatics were quite a bit simpler, such as spread eagles and spraffies and daffies. And twisters. Sure. And now you have these mini jump sites built in to your mogul course. So the acrobatic maneuvers are now off-axis 1080s, backflips with 2 twists, and quite a bit more complicated. And although you don't land directly back in the moguls, there is a small pad where they chop the landings and prep them that do not have any moguls on them. You can imagine that pretty quickly those get bumped up from people turning on them, and that no matter where you land, your first turn will be a mogul. So it aesthetically appears that you're jumping and landing right back in the moguls anyway.
And I always thought, not that you all landed directly in the moguls, but from what it looks like from spectator areas or on TV, if you watch, it and maybe this is a function of it getting cut up because of use, but it does look like you land back on like a smaller set and then it comes back up to where it needs to be for competition. But is that accurate? Does it feel like it looks, I guess, is that it looks like that, but is it that?
You're landing back in the moguls. It's just that you do not land on a mogul. Your feet land on something flat so that you don't die. And then immediately your first turn is a mogul. So for all intents and purposes, you're skiing moguls nonstop. There is not a break from the moguls other than the time that you're in the air flipping and twisting.
Got it. Yeah. See, like, because this is something I have never imagined for myself. Like I've skied moguls, sure, but it's recreational moguls at Mount Snow. Like that's what I've done. It's not like this where you're bombing through them fast and so clean. It's beautiful to watch. Any athlete's just a beautiful thing to watch. Poetry in motion, I believe it's been called over the years. And it's something to watch and to think about how you can come down, land, and be right back into it. Like, and that is so fast. The course, for as long as it is, that's what's a good average time to call it out, you think?
Under 25 seconds. Don't make me I'm doing the announcing this week, so I need to reference my laminated sheets that say what the pace times are based on, but we don't want to bore the audience. Basically, it's based on about 19 to 22 miles per hour speed would be considered normal. And then they get time points based on how close they are to the pace time, which is different for men and women. But then you try to maximize those points by going as fast as possible, but of course, cleanly as possible, given that turns are more important than speed.
Yeah. It's just so fast. Like you go look at this and you look at Lower Bobby's Run, and you go there and you're standing at the bottom. Like, it's a great venue. If you can get out to Waterville Valley and check this out, it's amazing. And to get to it's kind of cool because you can walk up, you can take the lift up, you can ski next to it. It's a whole thing. It's very cool. But to see it, and then you just see these people getting down that in seconds, it's ridiculous. It's amazing. So let's talk about Waterville Valley. You've done maybe not this course specifically, because it's got to be a little different every year. You build it after do snow every year. What's it like?
It's a great course. The last time I competed, it was in 2001. So that's not recently if you do math. However, it's a lot of the same people helping build it, and it's still New England snow conditions. So there are similarities. That was for national championships in March. I might be off by a year, but I'm pretty sure it's 2001. So January, snow conditions are usually a little more challenging, but I know the crew there will do a great job. And absolutely shout out to the Waterville Resort and Ops for building this course. So it takes a lot to host an event. It's a steep course. It's not the longest course, but it has a really evenly steep pitch. So it'll be challenging throughout. These athletes are all fully equipped to ski incredibly steep courses, but it makes speed control more challenging. You can imagine as gravity pulls you down the mountain. So I know last year athletes found the bottom jump hard, and I think part of that was because they were coming in hot, coming in fast, and there was a quick transition, meaning very little space between the last mogul and then the jump itself, and it was a quick lip on the jump, and so people were getting caught, and that made it really exciting in dual moguls. There were more crashes on the bottom jump.
There certainly were. That was a weird day anyway. The weather was weird. It just kept going in and out. Like, for 1 second, it'd be beautiful. You'd be getting your suntan going. Next second, it's clouds. You can't even see the course, which again is weird. And with something we talked about referencing the Killington World Cup, basically up the road as the crow flies. And like, you can only see so much of that course, where you go to this event, you get to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't miss it. And that speaks to how steep it really is. And now I don't know if I've skied that trail. I think every time I go there, it's somebody's training there, or the course is being built, or it's a World Cup or another, major event. So I don't think I've ever skied it. But I've skied alongside it on the other trails, and those are all fairly steep. In fact, I was there with their freestyle team one day during training with the kids, and that was interesting enough. I can't imagine. What is it? I don't want to say, is it frightening? Because you train for this, you do it. And obviously everybody has a little bit of a fear level going. You know what? Bag that question, because that's a stupid question if I can't even spit it out the way I want. So that's just dumb. And with a biff like that, I feel like it's a good time to throw in the ad reads. What do you think? So we can recover from that. And I 100% admitted my biff. I embraced my biff with Hannah Kearney right during the interview. Isn't that awesome? But you know what's not a biff? You know what's not dumb like that question I couldn't come up with? Whaleback Mountain. Whaleback Mountain is awesome. We're going to talk about Whaleback Mountain, me and Miss Hannah Kearney. Absolutely. But I'm going to talk about it myself for a minute because I love it. Not only is it my home mountain right up the road, not 15 minutes from my front door here at the HQ, not only do I work there as a lifty during the winter, I ski there, and I think you should ski there too. It is awesome. They have everything you want in a small package and a very easy place to get to right off of exit 16 on I-89 in Enfield, New Hampshire. Whaleback's super easy to get to. You could spit from the highway and hit the parking lot almost literally. It's kind of awesome. If you want something easy to ride, they have you covered. You want something a little more difficult, they have you covered. You want trees, you want natural, you want groomed, you need rentals. I think they even rent uphill gear, my friends. They have you covered on just about everything you could need for a day at the hill at a great price, making skiing super accessible with a vibe that everybody loves and a bar that everybody loves to get even more vibes that has music and other entertainment and beer, their own beer. People love it. Whaleback Mountain is absolutely fantastic. I think you should go there. I know you've driven down I-89 if you're a local or even visiting from out of state. You've driven down there, you've seen it there and thought, well, I got to stop in there one of these days. Now is the time. They are open. Get in there. You can stop in, like I said, not the most expensive place in the world. One of the cheaper places to ski in the region. Awesome. If you have an Indy Pass, you have 2 days waiting for you at Whaleback Mountain, full Indy Pass partner. If you have the Uphill New England Pass, you can head out there. Absolutely. It's all for you. And then coming up this Saturday, and I know we have the World Cup down there in Waterville Valley, and we love Waterville Valley, and we love the World Cup. But if you just want to ski that day instead, totally up to you. And you're from the Upper Valley. If you are from this area and are not going down to watch the race, go to Whaleback and ski. Upper Valley Free Day this coming Saturday, the 25th of January. Details at Whaleback. You can contact them through their social media or at whaleback.com or give them a call. Number is very easy to get, and you can get all the information you need from that. There's no more excuses, my friend. It is time for you to visit Whaleback Mountain, and I think you should, and I'll probably be there. If I'm there skiing, I'm there skiing. If I'm there on lifts, I'm there on lifts. But you could say hi 100%. And when I'm skiing there, and even when I'm working there, I'm wearing my Imbrace compression leggings. Imbrace, IMBRACE, make a set of compression leggings that are wonderful, built for snow sports. Starting at the bottom, they're boot cut. They don't go into your boots. They sit right above it. Very comfortable. Compression all the way up through. It's like having built-in knee support. It feels great on the knees, feels great on the hips, feels great on the back. And they have other features to make your skiing or snowboarding day wonderful and more wonderful. They're wonderful anyway. They make them more wonderful. You feel great while you're wearing them. You can even wear them for a little while afterwards. I've done that. The legs feel fine. Go a little bit longer in your day. Go a little bit stronger in your day. You need to know how they were made. Well, I've talked to Jeff, the founder of Imbrace. Go back and find that podcast. He'll tell you all about them. Then part of the design process was done by Shemi Alcott. Pardon that, Biff. Shemi Alcott. She helped design them, and she's an Olympic racer, a UK Olympic ski racer. And because she's a woman, there's some built-in women-centric features for them as well. They are wonderful. I love mine. I love them so much. I also have a pair for the off-season, the Imbrace Dynamic Plus leggings. Awesome. Great product. They can ship to you wherever you are. They're in the UK. I'm in the US. I have them. Imbrace.com, IMBRACE.com. Check them out and get yourself a set. You won't regret it. They are wonderful. Now that we've done all that, let's get back to better questions for Miss Hannah Kearney and let her answer them, which she does wonderfully. This is a great one. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you continue to enjoy it. Here we go. The course itself. Now, you've done it and you've enjoyed it. How does it rank with others? Like, have you been able to talk to other athletes, either other American athletes or other athletes from other countries? How do they? Were you able to get a feel for what people thought of it last year and how they're looking to like? Are they excited to be back in from New Hampshire, or is it just like not a favorite, or is it a thing? Is Waterville a thing for everybody, or no?
You like courses you do well on. So if you want me to ask the people who won, then they're going to want to go back there. So, and the people who did poorly are going to say, I don't like that. The New England skiers, the athletes who grew up skiing in New England, liked Waterville because they were fully mentally and physically prepared for the challenging changes in the weather conditions. That isn't everyone's cup of tea, of course. The people loved Waterville for the way that it was hosted, the crowd that turned out, the accommodations, the food. Those are the things that matter to the athletes. The course itself, courses are hard. Mogul skiing is hard. And guess what? It's the same for everyone. So if the athletes are complaining about the challenging course, those aren't the ones that we need to listen to because they're the losers. And so ultimately, everyone has to ski the same course. And I know the American athletes are thrilled to have another World Cup on home snow. It is an advantage to have the crowd cheering for you and to have more resources available to you when it comes to recovery when you're in your own country and you're in familiar territory. Your family can come cheer you on. So all those things are wonderful. And that's why Waterville is great.
There you go, kids. The locals love it. Winners love it. It's a great place. I love it. I like going down there too. Did you say you're doing the commentating this year?
Not in person. I'm doing television commentary, which unfortunately means that I'll be at my house in Utah in my basement watching a screen, and I don't get to be there in person. I'll send my mom in my place. She went last year and had an incredible time. It really was a freestyle reunion. Of all the people I grew up skiing with, brought their own families out, which is, I was just jealous that I wasn't there, but I've got to pay the bills. So I'll be working. And I think it airs, the NBC show, who I'm working for, actually airs on CNBC afterwards. So you can both go to the event in person, cheer on the athletes, and then watch the polished version that will be packaged into about a 1-hour show, the next day, or I don't have this information yet. They'll tell me when it's airing afterwards.
All right. So that actually sounds like something that can be at two fans' advantage. Again, I don't want to let the Killington race overshadow, but just something that we heard is that it was played live, which could be fun too. It's a pain in the backside for anybody who likes to watch world events to watch live television, because yes, it's first thing in the morning on a Saturday here. That's middle of the night on the other side of the planet. So being able to see it live, then go get the TV view might be awesome, especially since, like we heard during the Michaela Schifrin incident, the crash, the TV just cut it. That was it. Have a nice day. And of course they have to. That's just the nature of the business. But being able to have the polished show, I don't know. I feel like you could get so much, not so much more, because a live event, being there live is great. It's going to be so much better than watching on TV. However, the views from the TV can be different because the cameras can be in places. I don't know. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm full of it? Do you think I'm an idiot? No,
it's just a different audience. This will be packaged in a way that makes it easier to digest. We'll try to explain everything about Moguls skiing and show the highlights. So it's really that. It's a highlight reel. So get out there in person. If you're hardcore, there's nothing like supporting athletes live and seeing them in person to really appreciate. But if you cannot do that, please tune in. More eyes on these shows means more likelihood that they'll continue to pick up ski and snowboard sports and air them in the U.S. in the future.
Absolutely. Let's do that. Get those ratings up. It's more than possible. Kind of awesome that you did get the call. I remember you saying in our talk down in Boston that you hadn't got the call yet for it. So I'm kind of glad you did. I think you do great in these interviews, so I bet you do even better doing that. And I can't say that the commentators that were on ground level last year, maybe I just couldn't hear them, but they seemed kind of boring. I don't know.
It's all about the energy. I do
Yeah.
prepare a lot for this role, probably more so than I should or need to, but it's fun to stay involved in a sport that I gave so much time to.
You did give so much time to it. You've won so many times. You did great, stand out, awesome. And that, since we've talked about Waterville Valley, and again, we're going quick. We're down to the 10-minute mark for this interview, my friends. I'm going to get it. I can do this. You've done so much, and now you're being honored. We're going to move just to Hannah. We're going to get a little bit of Hannah in here. You're going into the Hall of Fame this spring, correct?
I'm going into the Hall of Fame. It's happening in March in Lake Placid, the induction ceremony, which means a lot to me because I spent summers living at the Olympic Training Center there and training, and it's going to be easier for friends, family, and teammates to come drive and hopefully support me and the other inductees because it's a nonprofit organization. You gotta shell out for the ticket to the ceremony, but you're supporting a good cause, and it's a huge honor.
Absolutely, 100%. It's a lot of fun. I went 1, 2, 3, 4 year, whatever it was, up here in Bretton Woods at the Omni. Shout out to everybody up there in New Hampshire. I went up there. Dan Egan, again, he's the one who tells me these things. That's how I know. That's why I said, I told you he was coming back up, and he's the one who introduced me to Hannah. And, he's very big with that too. And I'm going to be there. I think Hannah's going to be there. Dan, we'll all be there. So you get to do it. Like when you get that, I've asked other folks about this. When you get that call and said, yeah, we're putting you in. And obviously it's not someone just saying that, unless it is, which is kind of awesome in a way, but not really. When you got the call that said, hey, you're going in, what do you think?
Well, the best thing about the call is that it came from Donna Weinbrecht. So you have other Hall of Fame inductees calling you, and someone I looked up to as the pioneer in the sport of freestyle skiing. And then she patched in. She just was calling me to chat, and I thought it was probably a question about the New York Ski Gala that was coming up, where I often see her at the fundraiser. But she interrupted me and said, "Hang on, I have 2 other people on the call." And I was like, "What?" And she patched in Liz McIntyre, one of my first coaches, and someone else I looked up to as an Olympic medalist who was from my same area of the world. And I marched in a parade to welcome her home from the Olympic Games. And then the coach who was with me the longest as the head coach of the freestyle team when I was an athlete, Scott Rawls. So the 3 of them were on the call together, and it all was a blur because what's happening? And when they told me and they helped get me in, I think you have to be nominated. So I was really grateful for that. And it was just fun to imagine that we're all going to be able to hang out in person together in March.
It's going to be a blast. I'm happy to see you there. Donna Weinbrecht, obviously very cool. I have her autograph. She's never been on Ski Rex Media, but I think I have a picture with her too. Maybe that was on Ski Rex Media. I don't remember, but I definitely have her autograph. So that's pretty cool. That's awesome that you're in. It's just a lifetime of career coming together. And the beautiful thing is it's not over for you yet. Like you're not done. So do you feel like maybe you're going in too early? And not that I think that. I'm dude, Hannah Kearney, you don't belong there, right? That's what I'm going to say. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, you had a wonderful ski career, amazing, a dream career for some, a dream career for most, I would imagine. And now you still go, though you don't actually ski, you're still in it. Do you think you're in too early? Do you think you could be the first person or are you the first person who went in twice? Maybe, I don't know.
I don't think that's possible.
You still have so much to do. I don't think you can do that for real, but
I do feel young.
There's still so much
when
more
you get
to
inducted into a Hall of Fame. All of a sudden, you feel old because you're like, wait a minute, I'm old enough to be inducted into a Hall of Fame. But to me, it's like the last.
That's what I was getting.
Last honor and the last chapter. It closes out my athletic career. They did mention that part of it is what else you give to the sport beyond just the selfish vantage point of being an athlete, which is about you winning and achieving everything you can. And I'm not going anywhere as far as the industry is concerned. Although I thought I was, I did find myself getting sucked right back in between being a FIS athlete representative and a FIS council member. That's the International Ski Federation. And now, of course, working for the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Foundation in development. So I'm just fundraising for the current athletes. I have somehow found myself still very connected. I also train athletes, so work in the gym with athletes who are actively competing. Keep your eyes peeled for Nick
Sure.
Page at Waterville Valley. So I guess I am still very connected with the ski world. However, I think that this honor is mostly about my athletic career, and that I am both happy and sad to say is well behind me.
Yes. And as you heard, Hannah just listed off the fact that what she said was that she's super busy and still into it. And that's awesome. And you can actually get a little more detail if you go back. I'll just quickly plug our talk that we had down in Boston. If you go back and listen to that, she actually goes into more detail about that as well. It's going to be awesome. I say congratulations. I'm sure everybody else does too. We'll definitely see you in Lake Placid. If anybody who wants to go who can get there are public events that you can buy tickets for, as Hannah said. I don't remember the schedule, nor do I remember which ones are which. You'll have to go to the website and look that one up. I apologize. Lastly, for our last 5 minutes, at some point in this storied career that's gotten you into the Hall of Fame. Now, for the fun of it, it's not even fun. It's just a fact that Hannah is from the Upper Valley, which is where I sit right now. I am sitting in White River Junction, Vermont. Hannah is from just north of here, a few minutes, right up Route 5 or 91 or whatever you want to take, or jump across, go up 10, doesn't matter. Right here. Now, I very much push Whaleback Mountain. I love that place. It is my home mountain because it is not 10 minutes away. Have you been there? You had to have been if you grew up here.
I can one-up you on that one. Whaleback was my first sponsor. So they gave me a free ski pass when I was probably 12, maybe 13. And they didn't just give it to me. I applied for it. I had my resume. You can't on the podcast see my air quotes. Because what kind of resume is for a 12-year-old, but it did have my extracurricular activities, the other sports I played, my accolades in skiing at the time, and the jobs that I'd hosted. And I asked if they would support me with a ski pass so I could go train my ballet skiing mostly after school.
Cool.
Because Whaleback had night skiing at the time. Do they still have night skiing? Yep, there you go.
Very good.
Which is awesome. Skiing. So it's really hard to be a full-time student and get ski training in. I never went to a ski academy, so I needed the lights at Whaleback. And so the same day that I adopted a kitten from the Humane Society just up the road from Whaleback, I remember swinging by Whaleback on my way home with the little new kitten in the backseat of the car, and picking up my very first earned, gifted ski pass from Whaleback. So I've skied Whaleback a lot. I've actually returned to Whaleback as when I was an athlete to attend a couple different events for both Dartmouth. Chad had a challenge there, and I've skied for fun socially with friends. I spent a New Year's Eve there probably 15 years ago. So although it's been a while,
Excellent.
Whaleback was part of my journey in the Upper Valley and my athletic career.
Awesome. Yeah. And again, it still is a big place for children, families. Many schools train there. Fort Sayer, Cardigan Mountain School, Hanover, and a few more. The Whaleback's own core team, the freestylers there, who learn. Shout out to the core team. Bunch of good kids there. Awesome place. And look, they've been getting everybody. They even get the pros on the hill. Maybe in a roundabout way, but it did happen. So that's awesome. And as I told you before, I am to extend an invite to you. Next time you're in the Upper Valley, you want to get some runs in, come on over and they'll get you up.
I will take you up on that. So that I look forward to it. I'll be back in March. I'll be back east in March for that Hall of Fame induction. So maybe I'll swing by Whaleback on my way up. I always fly into Boston and then drive up, grab cars in the Upper Valley. So that's an easy ask. And I'd love to ski Whaleback again.
Awesome. That's cool. Let's make sure it's on a day where I can do it and not my lifty days, but I'll put you on the lift. It'll be fun. Anyway, look at that. Came in under 30 minutes. I'm getting so much better at this. It's so awesome. Miss Hannah, thank you again. Thank you for Boston. Thank you for this one. Congratulations on the career that got you into, or it's getting you into the Hall of Fame. Thank you for your insight into Waterville. Shout out to those guys, of course. Thank you for everything, man. And I will see you in March because I should be there.
See you in March and have a wonderful time at Waterville.
And there she goes, Hannah Kearney. Very awesome. A quick one for you, a quick hitter. That was a fast one. That's fine. We got all the information we wanted in there. We got Waterville information, World Cup information. We got Whaleback in there, Hall of Fame, all of that. Did some name dropping. I think that was pretty good. I really like Hannah Kearney. I do, man. We could get into it and get it done, and she's great. And I can't wait to see her again and talk to her again over in March, or out in March, over at the Hall of Fame. We'll see who else we could talk to when we get there. But unfortunately, we will not be getting to Waterville Valley for the World Cup this weekend. I will not be getting to Waterville Valley for the World Cup this weekend. It's kind of a bummer, but that's okay. I still encourage you all to go down there. Waterville Valley is not only a great place to ski, but as we said in the episode, it's a fun event that you could experience in a couple different ways from a couple different sight lines, including the main audience area, the main spectator area, which is a great sight line, especially if this weekend is sunny. If it's just all sun, no clouds, man, you can see the entire course from that area. It's set up a little different than you might be thinking it might be, especially if you've been to the Killington World Cup and not the Waterville Valley World Cup. Killington is right there. You can walk up to it. It's not far from the parking lot. You can spit from the spectator area and hit the parking lot. This, you got to go up a lift or you got to walk up. It's very cool. And you can get those views from around Waterville Valley. Waterville Valley is in a wonderfully nice area as well. It's great. So shout out to my friends down in, as we said, in Waterville Valley. Shout out to all the athletes from around the world who are going to compete. Shout out to the U.S. ski team for all of our local and home competitors here in the U.S. Should be a lot of fun. Take in some of it for me. Tell me what you think of it if you go. Tell me what you think of it if you see it on TV. Either way, enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I wish I could go, but I have to make a command decision, and some things have come up that I got to be closer to home. So, with that said, let me know what you think of it. And you can do that by emailing Ski Rex Media, contact@skirexmedia.com. That's the email, link in the description. Go to social media, X, Facebook, Twitter, even LinkedIn. Twitter is X, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Ski Rex Media on all of those. You can send me a DM or comment on a post. Either way works for me. DMs, I try to get back to them as fast as I can. I'm usually pretty good about that. You can go to the website, or that's skirexmedia.com or speakpipe.com/skirexmedia. You can leave Ski Rex Media a voicemail, which I will address in either personally, or I'll use your audio that you create there right here on the podcast or on social media, one or the other. Either way, you'll be part of Ski Rex Media. It's a great way to connect with a content creator, writer, journalist, podcast host that you enjoy, and it's very cool. And then, for those who know me best, you already have my phone number, so that's all right too. Anyway, thank you for listening to the Ski Rex Media podcast. I really do appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't. You can also find it at other places if you use the Podbean link, or if you looked at it on YouTube. You can also find it on your favorite podcasting app. Available on many. Just search Ski Rex Media and you can find it there. Might make it easier for you. It just might. Also, you can go to my Patreon, patreon.com/skirexmedia. If you sign up there, there is a free subscription tier, so you can read some of the stuff I write that's there for free. The paywall starts at $1, and the paywall gets you this podcast, early. It gets you on Sunday, not Wednesday, and it gets you with no ad in the middle, no ad read in the middle. So if that's something you're interested in, you can take a look there, and you can also contact me there. Right. We still have plenty of ski season left, my friends. It's only the second half of January. We still have February, March, and part of April maybe here in the east, and then the season continues in the west and in the higher elevations. And then, of course, if you're so inclined, you can head to the other side of the planet once summer begins and keep skiing and snowboarding and everything you want playing in the snow, right? Right. Tim from Ski Rex Media wishing you a good season, a good day, a good evening, good morning, good whatever it is. And I will see you out there, because I am going to be skiing this week, or maybe I already have. It's Wednesday, so I should be even skiing tonight over at the wonderful Whaleback, or at least this afternoon. Anyway, if you're listening to it on Wednesday. If it's another day, check the social media, see where I'm at. And if you see me, say hi. Plenty of people do. It's wonderful. I'll see you out there, my friends, later.